angels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girlz. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girlz.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girlz Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with my co-host all the way from Tucson, Patricia Kirkman, PK. How you doing tonight?
I am just fabulously happy as can be because we've got such a wonderful guest on tonight.
Don't we, though? Oh, my goodness. Christine Alexandria. She is an angel communicator, and her website is Angel Chatter. Great name, huh? .com.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
She's going to be talking to people tonight and delivering messages.
I hope they're good ones.
Always good ones from the
Of
angels,
course,
right?
Of course.
Now, I wanted to let everybody know right off the bat that we will be taking calls, but we need to sort something out on the production end, and it will be, well, I guess we'll be taking calls at 8 o'clock, right? Because I think we're having a technical issue, but what you can do in the meantime is join us in the chat room, and that is irnchat.com, irnchat.com, and you can write in your question there, and we will relay it on to our wonderful guest, Christine, and she'll answer it for you. So even though the telephones may be having a bit of a glitch at the moment, we can still take your chat room message and work with it from there. So we'll do our best to make sure you all get your answers tonight. So first of all, PK, what's going on with the numbers? What's happening?
Well, today's a 9-day, and you know how 9s affect us. There's a lot of compassion and passionate things going on, but people today find that things are a little bit on the tense side. So making of projects that have to be taken care of, the prime concern of what they need to do, or the stress side, it's got them shedding a few tears here and there because they're not quite sure which way to go. But that's okay, as it helps clear the soul. But tomorrow, pulling the sensitive side to the top of the heap is a good, actually not a feel good, it's going to be especially great. And there's going to be some change that's going to give us strong determination for us. It's kind of like a day that's going to be perfect in one respect, but it's going to be about new beginnings. And then you're going to find a direction that's going to make things feel like you're building stronger than you have for a long time.
That sounds very positive. I like that. Yeah.
It is.
Well, I like it. I'm all for it because we are coming out of, or at least finished with, Mercury retrograde, right? We're done. Are we done?
Yes. We're done.
Thank God we're done.
They did us like a stick in a steak, I tell you. It was a rough one.
I felt pretty staked, like a vampire, I'll tell you, through that one. So I'm glad it's over. Yay. Now,
definitely glad it's over.
I've been hearing, the San Diego stuff. I don't know if you've read about this, but I was waiting to get on the air. I was reading that San Diego's been having some very strange sounds, mysterious booms. It's not an earthquake. Things are shaking, rattling, and rolling. They don't know what it is. And I know this has gone on throughout the country and around the world, and now it's in San Diego. And Betsy Lewis, who we haven't had on the show yet, but I plan to invite, who's very good at predicting earthquakes. She says something big's coming down. So we're going to have to keep our eyes out on that one. It doesn't sound like a good sign, these mysterious booms, right?
No, it does not. It does not.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And we hope everybody will be safe. But, these are tumultuous times. The earth is changing. The earth is growing, and hopefully we are too. So
maybe it's all the stamping of the feet with the women marching.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
That's as much as I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, well, I'm all for gatherings that are heartfelt and love-filled. That one didn't seem to be that way, which is unfortunate.
Well,
Seemed to be
some of it
exclusionary.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of it
maybe
was,
some
but
of it was.
I think too many people used it to get the pitchfork out.
Yeah,
And
it's like
just
it's not a good
do the
reason to come
sharing.
together. Yeah, I understand. People have a problem; they're upset that their team lost. That does happen sometimes, but at the
Well,
same time, it's about time to open our hearts to each other and quit this divisiveness. And oh my God, this stuff that these celebrities had to say was very divisive and violent. And encouraging violence, which I don't support.
That's the
No.
part that I think was very upsetting. Protests, say the things you want to say, that's wonderful. But to stir the pot to the point that they're having additional problems, that doesn't make good sense, because your safety is as much involved as the people you're riling up.
Well, it's true. And, there are a lot of people out there that don't need much encouragement to become, to become violent. They're already in that state and of feeling powerless. And so violence, it goes right along with that. And it encourages people sometimes. It's not a good way to go, in my opinion. I think it's great for people to come together and stand for what you believe in, but it's got to come from the heart. Otherwise, it's fueling a fire that we don't need. So, my opinion only.
Well, I have to agree with you. We don't need negativity. Let's put out the positive, good stuff. We could all use that.
We can all use that. And that's why we have Christine on tonight, so that we can have all of that. But before we bring her on, she's just a wonderful guest, we have some paranormal news that's pretty wild, do we not?
That is for sure. I'm still. Do I have a choice to ask which one we can talk about first?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I'm going to just run over here while you're talking about whatever story you want to bring up first. And the reason is because I think somebody plugged a phone back in, and that would be a bad thing. So I'm just going to go over here and check it. So go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, the photo that you sent today of the angel that's causing quite a stir in the church, and I think that is absolutely fabulous. They show the church. It was on Christmas, and what they got was the impression of an angel lighting the candles, and you could see. Someone thought, well, maybe it's someone that was attending the mass, but the way they said, well, they were moving their arms. That's what created the issue of the angel wings, but it isn't. You could tell. The picture is absolutely wonderful. What a feel good.
It is a feel good. And that picture you can see and read the article on our Facebook page, Supernatural Girlz with a Z. If you're not following us yet, you really should. We've got some great stories there. This is one of them. It has a close-up picture. It has a faraway picture from a view from the altar. It's a remarkable story. And, so many people say this person took the picture, didn't see it, and then looked at the picture, and there was that image. It happens all the time. So, yeah, that was
sneaky little devils, aren't they?
Yeah, they are sneaky little
sneak up on us.
And it was a beautiful shot. So somebody was very blessed in receiving that. So take a look at that on our Facebook page. It is a real heart opener. So take a look there. And then we have other stories on our Facebook page that will also be interesting to you. And one of them is a Google Earth image where the person claims this is showing that he was abducted by an alien. How about it, huh? So here we have this picture.
And
it's very different. And it's a satellite. And this gentleman says it has captured a real alien abduction taking place, showing him trying to fight off a gray alien by punching him in the face. And that's what you see. You see his arm is outstretched towards the alien. I don't see it connecting. I can't imagine an alien would let that happen. But anyways, and it says the alien blocked his punch, grabbed him, and then was able to subdue him. So take a look there. Some people are saying it's not for real, but it's a Google Earth shot. So I don't know how you can fake something like that on Google Earth. I don't know if that's possible.
That I know nothing about except for what we get to see.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
What do you think of that shot?
I look at it, and at first I wasn't sure what it was I was looking at, and then you looked at it again, and then it became more realistic. But it looks like a person in a white shirt with their head and being pulled. But there again, it certainly has a lot to make you think about.
It really does. I mean, there's a lot there. And now our last story. You want to talk about that one? That's very cool.
You get to
Somebody
do the
has
good
found a
stuff
new
for
way
that
to
one.
communicate with the other side.
I thought that was absolutely fascinating. Well, see, there's just more and more things that we can find out with the electronics that we use. We've got more going on than we even thought. I
Yes.
saw this family talking to a dead relative using an Amazon Fire TV stick. I'm going to run out and get one tomorrow and see if I can't talk with some friends.
I am going to do the same. I think we should all get one of those things and give it a try, because after reading this story and listening, I mean, really listening to the people that had filmed this, I think it's authentic. Something happened for them that was quite remarkable. And who knows, maybe it is the wave of the future. Here is how you contact the dead. So that Amazon stick, maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. I'm going to definitely get
Or the ear. Or the ear.
That's also on our Facebook page, everybody. So make sure you take a look at those 3 stories. It's got photos, videos, all kinds of stuff. And make sure you give us a like. Follow us on Twitter. We've got Melissa. She is back. She's back from her long vacation. She's now hard at work with us. And she's sending out tweets tonight all about the show, all about
Good.
Thank you, Melissa. We really appreciate your help. So
That's for sure.
we do. Of course we do.
I can't Twitter tweet anything right.
Yeah.
God, what can I say?
You've got to
I
take
feel
lessons.
so inept.
I know. I'll say it's a whole new game out there, and so it's great because it allows us a more direct connection with our audience, who we absolutely love. And by the way, we have creativestrength.us. They are still offering a 15-day free trial to be treated with scalar energy, and you can again go to our website and take a look there. All you have to do is click on the link, send in your photo. You get 15 days free treatment, no strings attached. It's a wonderful treatment that's available from Tom Palladino. So check that out. We have Ezra, who's offering all kinds of classes, and he's on our website. Go to thehighend.org. Unfortunately, I had to cancel last night's class because of our ice situation. We've seemed to be plagued with ice lately. And so anyways, he's going to be rescheduling some of those classes, but he's there. He's there to help you navigate the waters of medicinal marijuana. And we also have Sean Bartok, whose book is selling very well. It is called Flashbacks, and it's a UFO abductee story. Took place in Colorado, filled with all kinds of fascinating adventures. He was on our show. The book is available at Amazon.com, and you can click on our link at supernaturalgirls.com to get the book. And of course, one last mention. This is your last chance, everybody. Property taxes. Your last chance to file an abatement. And if you need to know how to do it and what to do, we've got the book for you. It is called Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? And I can guarantee you are. How to find out and how to fix it. It's written by attorney Patricia Quintillian. It's a great book. An easy read, and it gives you step-by-step, as well as horror stories, which I hope you don't find yourself in one of those. So take a look there. If you need help with your property taxes, then that is the book for you. Makes a wonderful gift in case you know a homeowner who may be facing some issues there. So go to our website. It's all there just for you. And now, for our guest, we have an angel communicator, wonderful angel communicator. We have Christine Alexandria. She is from angelchatter.com. She's with us all night tonight. Well, until 9. Anyways, that's all night for us. She's going to be taking your questions in the chat room, as well as once we get the phones figured out, taking your calls. So again, that's irnchat.com, irnchat.com. And after 8 o'clock, hopefully we'll have the phones figured out, and you can call in at 888-919-2355. Again, that is 888 919-2355. So welcome to the show, Christine. It's so nice to have you back.
Oh, thank you. I am so happy to be back with you too.
We're delighted to have you with us tonight. That's for sure.
Yes.
Thanks.
We are. So I know that obviously you've been on before, and we had a wonderful time with you that evening. But for people that haven't heard from you before, please tell us again how this all happened for you. How did you get involved with communicating with angels? That's quite a gift.
It is. And it wasn't a gift that I recognized as a gift for many years. Because, I realized, oh gosh, I had to be in my 30s, and I was having a phone reading, and the woman called in Archangel Ariel. And before I could monitor, because, we all like to be polite with people, especially with people we don't know, I blurted out Pinky, but I said it really, really loud. And I'm like, what the heck was that all about? And I don't remember anything else about the reading except that one moment. But that one moment was so defining for me, because that one night when I went to bed, I called in Archangel Ariel, and now expecting the energy to come in, I went, oh, it's you. So she's my guardian angel.
Oh.
And as a child in the crib, I didn't know the name Ariel, but I knew the color pink, my favorite color. So and because she glows the color pink, I called her Pinky.
How cute.
So this was something, you just can't make this stuff up. So that confirmed to me that I've been doing this since a babe in the crib. But like so many people that are sensitive and intuitive, let's face it, it's kind of on the unusual side. Not in our world, but, in the mainstream world, it's on the unusual. We're not counting numbers, and we're not in court. We're not helping to, heal somebody with prescriptions. We're talking with things, energies that most people can't see. And I learned, I guess, about the age of 6 or 7. I forget how old I was, but I remember the exact incident. We were living in Connecticut, and my friends and I were hanging out in my bedroom, and they said something, and I said, well, yeah, I know. And they said something, and I said, I know. And they looked at me, how do you know everything? And I just kind of stopped, and I looked at them, and I probably blinked my eyes a whole lot. And that's at that moment I realized that not everybody could do that, and that this was different. And at that moment, I shut down completely shut down. I was still super sensitive. I've actually just in the last few years, I've realized I'm empathic.
So it's really tough when people make comments or they have any type of derision towards you, because you feel it like double.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah, I had a whole town against me. I did. I really did. I was teaching. I'm a Reiki master teacher, and a couple of people found out. And I said, "Can you teach us Reiki?" I said, "Be happy to." So there was about 5 or 6 of us, me included in that number. So not a large group by any means, but a very small little town. And the ringleader there is a local, many generation family based in this town. And he says, you really ought to get a business license. And me being, an upstanding citizen and goody two shoes, I was like, okay. So I go and I apply for a business license. Now, I'm going to ask the both of you, what is your typical business license fee?
The fee is $15.
Exactly. Guess how much they charged me?
$500.
$100.
Oh, no. You both are so far off base.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
1500.
How much? What?
Yes.
1,500.
Yes, this was my first clue that they weren't going to give it to me.
Wow.
But at that point, my dander was up, and I threw that wing gauntlet down. I was like, that's right. I don't live here full time. I'll take one for the Gipper. So about a year later, they still hadn't decided. I mean, seriously, people, they still had not decided what to do with me. And they were coming up with everything. And I'm being, this is like stupid. I'm being logical. No, this is it. No, this is it. I'm being very patient with them. And I've had people coming up to me on the side saying, hey, they don't want you. Really hadn't figured that one out yet. Hey, if you pull out, they'll give you your money back. That's unheard of. That's nice. I even have town council members coming up to me on the side saying, hey. I'm like, oh,
but this is because you were teaching Reiki? That's all?
Yes, that's it. That
what
was
is
it.
it? They thought it was witchcraft or something?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So they decided to have a town meeting, and I was one of the topics. Yay, me. So my family cannot be with me that night. So my lovely neighbor, I call him my island husband, has never been to a town meeting since then, has never been to one since, goes and supports me because before his wife passed, I would do a lot of energy work on her. And she felt better. So I'm sorry, this may sound bad, but it's the truth. This little old lady goes up to the mic. They had to pull it down to her. And she says, only God can tell you who your guardian angel is. And if anybody else can, they're working with the devil.
Whoa.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're getting
God.
with the state.
And I went, okay then. And then one of the council members compares me to a phragmite, which is an invasive water plant, looks right at me and says, we have enough weeds on the island. Meanwhile, I know the mayor has spoken to all of them ahead of time and says, this woman is not stupid. You defame her. She will sue your and
boy,
so behave yourself.
Well, that's terrible.
It was hysterical. So I go up there very calmly, and I'm dressed, and what a surprise, they did not give it to me. So I go out to the parking lot, and I'm shaking a little bit because I'm just in such disbelief that their fear was so big. Turns out that little old lady that got up there was the ringleader's aunt. He said, she doesn't even have a computer. They told her what to say.
Oh,
for God's sakes.
Oh, so then the angels had the last laugh. You ready for this?
Yep.
It hailed the next day.
It hailed.
My neighbor comes out of his back door, and the yards are very small on the island. He comes out of his back door. He's laughing his butt off. He looks at me, and he's just laughing so hard. He goes, I knew you were a witch. I'm like, oh.
Well, that was going to be my next comment. Same thing. Sounded like you needed a lawyer there rather than your neighbor. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was. Had I been a bit wiser, I probably ought to have done something about it legally. But the joke's on them because the door opened, and there are other businesses on the island. I mean, for years they couldn't have. A female massage therapist could not give a man a massage.
What century were you living in on this island?
So this
sounds like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, so it's a lovely place, but obviously a little backwards.
The times. Well,
yes.
Here's the question. This is in our chat room from John, who wants to know: is this type of scrutiny widespread?
That I can't answer you, John. This is my one and only instance dealing with a small little local government. And in this case, it indeed was. And this was it's been over 10 years since this happened. And we lived on the island full-time for about 4 years. We still have our beach home there. And so we've become friends with other come-heres. And come-heres are people that did not, they weren't born on the island, and they certainly weren't raised. We discovered its beauty and wanted to come. So we've become friendly with some other come-heres, and one of them had a little get-together around the 4th of July. They are still talking about me 10 years later.
Hey. And here you are offering something that's loving and light-filled and inspiring. Exactly. It's not like you're offering voodoo spells. So, and there's nothing wrong with voodoo spells.
At the time, I didn't even have any product to sell. I didn't have any product line. I had nothing. I had me.
Just you. Well, that was enough to scare the heck out of them, huh?
Oh, it was. It was.
Oh, gosh.
They really, and they're still talking about it. I'm like, seriously, people, It's been 10 years. Let it go. I have. You're not making me laugh about it, but yeah, they're like, they go, wow, they really wrung you through the ringer. I'm like, well, where were you helping supporting me?
Yeah, because they didn't want to be next. They know how it works.
They didn't. And there were actually quite a few locals that came up to me. They go, we support you, but I can't. I have a full-time business here, and they will crucify me.
Yeah, there's a bullying effect that goes on with a lot of these things. And certainly this is something that PK and we've talked about on the air. You know, people who participate and are leaders in the field like you are with spiritual types of things and with supernatural types of things often get short shrift in small towns like yours and also in the media. We're made fun of it. You know,
even in Tucson.
Even there. That's a big place.
Well, for what we do here, what I do, our people at the fair, we have to get a fortune teller's license.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It has not been changed since 1955, but that's what they've got, a fortune teller's license.
Now,
so that's what we have to get to be able to work.
See, that's crazy. Now, here's Gino in our chat room, and Gino wants to know what town was it? Island capital.
I saw,
because we never want to go there, do we, Gino?
And I wasn't going to say, but I'm like, well, no, there are newspaper articles, so it's obviously out there. It's a small barrier island on the eastern shore of Virginia. It is called Chincoteague, Chinco.
There's the problem right there. It's the name of the island.
Actually, it's the horses that take over the island. The people can't think. The horses think better.
They do think better. They think straight. Gosh, well,
it's a lovely, lovely place, but you have to learn to play the game a bit, and so it's all going to come back to laugh at them.
Yeah, it does. And thank goodness you're still spreading the word about angels. And we're going to be talking about this for the rest of our show tonight because there's so much to learn about angels. There's so many questions people have. And who are they? What are they? What do they look like? Do you hear them? Do you see them? Do you feel them?
All of the above.
All of the above. And do they ever hit you over the head and say, hey, Christine, you're doing something we don't want you to do?
Yeah, they've done it so many times, I now call it a wing slap.
Okay.
Well, I keep getting questions from people wanting to know, how do you know who your angel guide is? How do you decide?
That's always, it's such a popular question. Our guardian angel has been with us since the very, very first time we incarnated. So they've been with us when we were great people. They've been with us when we were not so good people, and they know everything about us. And guess what? They still adore us, which is such a lovely thing. But we forget, look at Pinky. I forgot about her for decades. It didn't mean she left me high and dry. She's just kind of like, sitting up there eating bonbons, playing the harp, going, eventually she'll ask me. So if you don't have a name, which many people don't, chat with Raphael, because Raphael oversees all the guardian angels. Because we love to have a name. So at least if we know Raphael, hey, can you reintroduce me? Hey, can you reconnect me with my guardian angel? And don't be surprised if it doesn't sound like an angel's name. I know I had a client years ago. His angel's name was Bob. And he was tickled to death it was Bob. Because for him, if he had someone that sounded like Michael, for him, that was too much. So it can be any name. The first name that pops into your head that makes you smile, that's it. Don't overthink it. What's your thing?
I was going to say mine's been Clarence for years.
I love that.
They'll get in the car, okay, Clarence, hop in, let's go. And, things like that. And people think I'm a little silly, but hey, I get my parking place. Things open up when Clarence and I are down the road, so I don't sweat it.
Isn't that great? I like that. I like that.
I talk to Pinky all the time. I talk to the whole gang all the time. So, which is an ongoing fodder for conversation in our home.
Wow. I love it. Well, we're going to get more comfortable with all of this and more personal with all of this as we go into our next segment. And Everybody, again, please don't hesitate to write your questions in to the chat room. I will ask them on your behalf to Christine and her Angel Communiques, and that address is irnchat.com, irnchat.com. And after 8 o'clock, give our phones a try. That phone number is 888-919-2355. Again, that's 888-919-2355, because I know Christine loves to hear your voices, so hopefully we'll get that working. But just in case it doesn't work, go to the chat room. Leave us your message and your question there at irnchat.com, irnchat.com. So we are talking with Christine Alexandria tonight. She is an angel communicator, and you can find her at angelchatter.com. And we will be talking with her for the next hour. So everybody, stay tuned, and we will be Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my co-host all the way from Tucson, PK, and our incredible guest. So much fun that we have with her every time she's here, Christine Alexandria. So we've got a bunch of callers here for you, Christine. Are you ready to take some calls?
I am so ready.
All right. So our first caller is Pat from Connecticut. And Pat, what question do you have for Christine?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I've been going through extremely difficult time. I was just wondering if any angels could have anything to say to help me through this period. Or
Yeah, Pat, there's, first of all, energetically, one, no, you're not alone. There's the energy out there right now, to use a very light sounding word, is wonky. It's wonky times infinity and beyond. So those of you that are sensitive, like yourself, are really getting pummeled right now and having, and please correct me, there's always one big rule. If I'm saying something that doesn't make sense, please call me on it, or if you don't understand, or if I'm off base, call me on it. But you're getting feelings of despair, and it's just not good. One of the things they want you, so Camuel really comes in right away for you. And Camuel, Chamuel, Camuel's the angel of self-love and oversees the heart, but it is the color of pink, because pink is also the color of self-love. It's like Pepto-Bismol threw up somewhere, because it's that much pink all over the place. So I would highly suggest you get some rose quartz if you can. It's a super stone. It's very easily found, because the lack of love everybody has towards herself, it's an epidemic. We can all love ourselves more, because when we love ourselves more, when we take care of ourselves. And it doesn't mean we have to spend money and go and get a massage or a mani-pedi or a facial. We can do those things. But sometimes it's just simple as, today I took my dog for a walk in the woods, and it's something I desperately needed to disengage and go reconnect and ground, so I can be here with you all tonight and be really over the happy to do so. I just pulled one card for you, and it came up Raphael, who also oversees the heart, but more, he's the healer, he's the doctor of the angelic realm. And the card message is gentle heart. So it really does work beautifully with Camuel. The message is, place your hands over your heart, close your eyes, get very, very quiet, feel your heartbeat, and say, I love you. We don't hear that enough. So if you have, those kinds of feelings, love yourself. And by loving yourself more, you are then allowing yourself to receive what you really want, which can be very difficult. I understand. I've been there. When it seems like nothing's going your way, it's like, I've got to try something else. So now this is your chance. Start taking more care of you. We notice and respond accordingly.
How does that, Pat? Does that make sense to you?
It does, but I was hoping for maybe anything in the future as far as things becoming easier with finances and money.
Yeah, I was getting there's a new job on your horizon. There is money coming in, but so this is not picking on you moment, but again, in order to get those finances flowing in better, it's taking care of you first, honoring you first. You've heard of affirmations, and using the money as an example, an affirmation was, I have enough money. You turn right around and go, no, I don't. My checkbook says I don't have a lot of money at all. So I can affirm until the cows come home, but I know I don't have enough money. But you could be finding yourself asking, why don't I have enough money? Why can't I get more money? Why don't I have more money? The law of the universe says I answer every question you ask literally, which means based on those kinds of questions, why don't I have more money? You'll never get it. But now using that same formula, switch it into a positive question. Why do I have more than enough money?
Okay.
Start using that. If this is something that intrigues you, find me on Facebook. And this goes for everybody that's listening tonight. You're welcome to find me on Facebook. You're welcome to join our closed group on Facebook. It's called Angel Chatter. I keep it closed so it stays sacred space. It's an amazing supportive group from all over the world. I can't say enough about these people. I mean, I've not met many of them in person, but they are all near and dear to my heart. Say, hey, chatterers, and come play with us, and we will be supporting you more than you probably have had in a long, long time.
I'd like to share something. You just, I got it when you said to reverse it, because I heard years and years ago someone say this, and I've kept this little saying with me for years, and the question is, how do I know, or why do I know I am totally and completely loved by the divine?
There you go.
And each day that I focus on that question, something will come through. The littlest
Doesn't
thing.
Magic happens when we use the right questions. Magic how we want it. So that's, an amazing, thank you for that confirmation. If this is something that really, if this really intrigues you, I do have a book for it, but you've got the formula. You've had this your whole life. Now just really be more active with it.
Thank you. And
You're so welcome.
About the heart, seriously too. And I find you on Facebook, Angel Chatter.
Yep. Or my name, Christine Alexandria.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
You're so welcome, Pat. Have a great evening.
Yeah. Thank you for your call, Pat.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got another caller waiting for you, Christine, and this is Debbie. Debbie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. So my life has been really sort of like stressed with family. Both works are going through transitions, and I'm just wondering what's in store for me.
All right, so you have a lot of stress due to transitions. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Work is changing. I don't know what it's going to be. Both jobs that I have.
What do you do now, Debbie?
Social work.
I'm sorry?
I'm a social worker. Social worker,
okay. The first word I heard is that you're a healer. So please confirm, through your social work, you're very compassionate. You do take a lot of your work home emotionally. Is this true?
Well, probably, but I sort of like stuff it down.
Well, yeah, well, that doesn't work, does it? That only works so long before it starts, you start spontaneously combusting. So, again, Camuel then comes forward, but in a different format. It is still self-love, but it's that decompressing. So think about when I said I took my dog out for a walk in the woods today. It helps you get rid of that stress that you are encountering through your job. It's very, very important for you. One of my favorites are salt baths. So I do see a transition. They're inviting you to study some energy healing modalities to better understand how the energy works. Mm-hmm. So I would also, suggest that. And they had something else. Oh, do you work? Is it a government agency that you work for now?
Yeah, we're a contract employee for them.
Okay, thank you for that.
They want to take security out, so it's going to be a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, I do see you going. They're funny. They have a sense of humor. Don't say they don't have a sense of. I heard you're going to go rogue. What that means, I'm not really sure. I mean, do social workers go out on their own and have their own private business? I don't know, but maybe that's what it is. I see you because you can be. You have the energy. You have the courage to be a leader. They're showing me that you actually start a foundation in memory of somebody, and it's going to be quite the thing, is what they're saying. But this is something that you don't have to do. But if you did do it, you would be very, very happy, because this would become like your baby. And I pulled a card for you as well, and it's Big Mike, Archangel Michael. I love it. The message is angelic power. So that says you have the entire Winged and Halo gang. They got your back. So now, Debbie, so if you haven't made a vision board before, it's a great time to do one. We're still in January. We're still in that beginning of 2017. Mm-hmm. Place your desires. Give what you really want. Let go, and this goes for everybody, let go of what you think you want. Let your heart speak to you when you make that vision board. Excuse me. And then when you finish it up, use the affirmation of, why am I worthy of all I desire? And then allow them. It may not happen as quickly as you think you want it to happen, but it really does happen. And I speak from experience. It happens when you are ready, because you are the divine. We've all heard, that's that term we love to hear and hate to hear at the same time, divine timing. It happens when you are ready.
Can I ask you one other question, quick one?
Sure.
Okay, so I had a dream of my father who's passed. And in the dream, was it he that actually came to me the last couple of nights? In the dream, it was sort of like real. He was really there?
Yeah.
Okay. And I asked him sort of like what it was like in heaven. And he didn't look happy when he told me it's different. Is he unhappy?
Is he unhappy? No, he's not unhappy at all. It's different because it's not, I have been there, but I don't remember because, we've all been there because, this is not our first go through. But we forget, the majority of us forget what it's like. It's not anything we can conceptualize. Even in our wildest dreams, could we conceptualize what it's like? The closest I get to is when I meditate, and I really allow myself to relax into the meditative state and go into it. My youngest daughter painted a painting for me for Christmas. And it's special in multiple reasons, because this is the first time she painted in over 10 years. And it's an angel, but there's such energy and power in that, that when I meditate, I actually will gaze upon it and it transports me. So no, bottom line, he is not unhappy. It's different. It's
Okay.
such, and that's kind of his weird nonverbal way of saying, I don't know how to describe it to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies.
You're very
And have a
welcome,
good-
Debbie.
Thank you for your call, Debbie. Well, we've got a few people in the chat room that have things to say, and Denise Clark Kress has something to say and ask for. Christine, here's her message. She says, "Hi, girls. My daughter has been trying to recover from pneumonia. So I thought I'd try and cheer her up by asking you if her angels have any messages for her. My daughter's name is Chloe, and she's 16. Thank you."
Oh. Hi, Chloe. So pneumonia has a lot to do with our lungs. And there's a lot of fluid that builds up in our lungs. And sometimes we just need really a good old cry to get rid of that extra water that's going on in there. And I'm sorry, she said Chloe, I think it's a teenager?
Yes, Chloe,
Okay.
who's 16.
16. You can't see my face, but I'm smiling like the Cheshire Cat right now. Chloe is adorable. She has a really, really funny sense of humor. And I'm getting a vision of her when she smiles, her eyes start to sparkle. She has a brilliant future ahead of her. So for now, because she's very sensitive, so they also invite her to start with the angels, actually. She can also look into crystals. They have me looking at my crystals right now, one of my desk piles. So she is naturally drawn to the energy of stones. So let her play with that. A good stone for her right now would be emerald. Doesn't mean you have to go out and get something really fancy at the jewelry store. You can find raw emerald, very inexpensive, but it will have a lot of some healing properties in there for you as well. And rose quartz would be another lovely one for you. Just be very gentle on yourself, Chloe. You're undergoing. You're 16. You've got the whole world ahead of you. You're going to have a blast as long as you stay true to yourself.
Well, that's a good message. We could all keep hearing that one. And
I know, can't wait. It may sound kind of canned, but oh my gosh, it's so appropriate for her. But I'm thinking, wow, someone had told me that when I was 16.
I know.
Wow.
I know. And I'll tell you, if I
do?
had pneumonia, I'd be crying.
I know.
I would be crying. That is no fun. So, Chloe, we hope you get well soon.
Yeah, get well, Chloe.
Yeah, that was so nice of your mom to write in for you. And here's a question that we have for you, Christine, from D.H. Smith, asking, "My wife and I have struggled with infertility for 16 years. We have one child through in vitro, and we are trying to grow our family even more. Wondering if the angels see what route we need to go in order to have more love in our home. Thank you."
Oh, boy. I so want you to have another child. They're being it's a tough one. They're being very quiet about it. So I'm going down. So what I'm doing, DH, is I'm looking at different areas, surrogate, adoption, biological, and see which one illuminates. Surrogate keeps popping up. I don't know if you've explored that route or not. So they're telling me that sorry, they're talking and I have to shut up so I can hear them. The possibility of you having a second child is quite high, but they're strongly suggesting, and they're being quite adamant about it. You can hear my voice changing. You look into different creative ways to get that child. It's going to be surrogate or adoption. I'm not getting any indication it's going to be a biological one, and I hope that doesn't really get you upset. But I don't want to mislead you. But there is another child if you are creative in how you can go about it.
And
there might be someone in your area, like in your town, teenage girl, pregnant kind of thing, because the time's pretty ripe for you guys to have another one right now. So kind of put some feelers out there and see what happens. And as I said that, I'm getting a lot of those little angel chills. So I think I speak them truth. Let me see.
And it's
So
really, what's really great is that we live in a day and age where there are so many choices around this, and I really hear the person, Mr. Smith, who wrote this, coming from a place of love. So I really
I do
hope
too.
that
I do too.
they get this to happen. What a blessed child this will be, to be in a home with so much love.
I did pull a card, and it was Archangel Haniel. And Haniel oversees what's called the etheric heart chakra. It's a bit above the heart chakra. It's turquoise, and I call Haniel the manifester. And so it's the angel of manifestation. He helps create our heavenly desires here on earth. So it's one of those that when we want something so desperately, we inadvertently put those clamps on it, preventing it from happening because we have so much energy wrapped up around it. So the message is actually breathe. So if you're not doing breathing techniques, yoga breathing techniques, Tai Chi, something to get you both to relax into the energy, don't forget to have fun. And that's where that creative process of Gabriel comes in again. So play with it, literally, be creative, and let us know when the new one comes. It's a pretty, it feels very, very strong.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, we hope
good luck.
That answers it for you. And good luck. We are sending you prayers and blessings for your new little one. How exciting.
It is.
Let me ask you, Christine, how do you know? I mean, when an angel comes to you, or how do you know who it is? Do you go by feel, by color, by sound? How do you determine who they are?
Oh, all of the above. And that sounds kind of vague. You may have heard my voice start to change with each caller, it's changed a little bit. You still get me, but the angel's energy really comes in. And I remember I did a show a couple of years ago, and no one had ever asked me this before. She goes, well, let's talk to each angel individually. And I went, okay. And I got a little nervous, like, can I do this? And it was really wild because every angel came in, and I could feel my energy slightly shift. So it was pretty crazy. It's like Michael is like very much in your face. He is big Mike Fabio with the hair, and it's big energy, and it's it's just, he's funny, but he is the best big brother you'll ever have. But it's him, and there's no mistaking when it's Michael. Camuel, for me, and everybody's energy or interpretation could be different because we're human, so how we perceive things will be different. Camuel, as an example, is going to be much softer because that essence of self-love is a really hard pill to swallow for so many people. So many people. So, if I said, Patricia, you need to love yourself more, you're going to go, I got to go. I'm not listening to you anymore. So, but if the message is delivered much softer, because that's Camuel's energy, you're going to be a lot more receptive to it.
Right. Yes. Well, that makes sense. And, it is interesting how self-love is a tough one to swallow. It is not the same as self-entitlement. It is a whole different thing.
Oh, it's very, very different.
Oh, yes. And so it's, but I can see where connecting with these angels definitely connects you up to a larger source energy. And there's a lot of power in that. So it's then more than you, and you're feeling that stream of consciousness that you can make good use out of if you're open to it, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the cool thing, because they're here for everybody. And it doesn't mean I'm better than anybody because I've got this direct line. Everybody has their direct line. This happens to be my strong point. There are others like my daughter who can paint like nobody's business. There's PK that does astrology, and that stuff makes my hair hurt, as you guys know. So everybody has a natural gift. It doesn't mean just because I'm not an accountant, I can't add or I can't do calculus, which I can, much to the surprise of my father, the chemical engineer, amazing man. But I can't stand it.
See, this is not for you. Well, Stay tuned, everybody. We are going to take another very short commercial break, and we'll come right back. We've got more callers on the line. Feel free to communicate with us in the chat room, and stay tuned. You are listening to Supernatural Girlz Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my co-host, PK, and our great guest tonight, Christine Alexandria, an Angel Communicator, who's giving messages to people who are calling in and writing in the chat room. So feel free to write in to us, and I will ask the question on your behalf, and that is irnchat.com, irnchat.com, or you can give us a call at 888-919-2355. Again, that's 888-919-2355. And we have somebody on the line right now. I believe it's Casey. Casey, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi, thank you.
What's your question for Christine tonight?
I was just looking for a message from my angels about what to do next career-wise.
First of all, hi, Casey. What do you currently do?
I'm an outdoor educator.
An author educator. The first thing I heard is teacher. You definitely you enlighten people. What do you write?
What do I write?
You said author?
I've been toying around with an idea of writing a book, and I started it, but I stopped it about a year ago.
Oh, I think it's time to revisit that, Casey. What's it about?
A little girl who can talk to animals and a boy who can communicate with trees.
Oh, my gosh. What were we just talking about off air? That is so perfect. That is so perfect. There are not many books out there in this genre for children, period.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that doesn't belittle it and make it, all sci-fi weird stuff. Because you have a beautiful gentleness about you, a very truthful heart. So I definitely see the nature element coming in. One of them's going to have one of the characters is going to have a fairy as their companion, and it's a way to get messages out there, and they really kind of liked that. So that's where your strength lies. You know how to write, so go ahead and start doing it. And there's a lovely book out there. It's been out for decades. I believe it's called The Artist's Way. And one of my daughters is got the book this past summer, and I know one of the rituals is you have to write basically a stream of consciousness, I think, for 10 to 30 minutes every morning. And she's an artist. She's an artist by trade, and she says her creativity has gone off the charts. So look up that book. It's been around for years and years and years, so it won't be difficult to find. You can probably find it dirt cheap as a used book. But if you can't find it, pop me a note, but I'm pretty sure it's called The Artist's Way. I did pull a card for you, and it's Archangel Ariel with the message of trust. So I do see the book going. I do see it actually as a little series.
That's funny.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm thinking.
See, well, there you go.
Because originally I wanted to do like a book for kindergartners, but as I started it, I was like, there's just too much I want in it. And I was thinking about doing a mini series for like young adults.
Right, and that often what happens when you get those creative juices, you get the big picture, and then when you start putting it down on paper, it's much too much. I did the same dance. I totally get it. So take it all, and then see then how you can compartmentalize it, because there is at least three to six books in this little project of yours.
Okay.
Awesome. And I do see the first one may be self-published, but after that I see it getting picked up by a publishing house.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Casey. That sounds exciting. It sounds like a fun list. Yeah,
it does.
Definitely has a lot going for her, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, especially in today's times. Then we are all interested in these alternate realities that people are experiencing. And for kids, that's great. Wonderful. So, Christine, we were all talking off the air, as we always do during the break.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was thinking about Metatron, and I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of the Supernatural television show. I love that show. And last season, and I also think it was the 2 seasons before, they introduced Metatron. And he was this little nebbish pain in the neck. It was so funny. And I was thinking, I don't think Metatron would particularly like that characterization of himself. I mean, Metatron is such a huge, powerful source of energy. And here they had him as this, the scribe for God. And he was just such a nasty little thing to everybody on the show. It was fun to watch. But tell us about your experiences with Metatron.
All right, so he's quite the interesting dude. There are several levels of him. So the lowest level, which I always kind of laugh at when I say that, is an ascended master, which means he was here, walked the earth, and then ascended into heaven. So think of Mother Mary, ascended into heaven. So Metatron is said to be one of his lifetimes was Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal in honor of his wife. Very, very spiritual guy. And then the highest level of Metatron would be kind of like the right-hand man of God, goddess. God says, create supernatural girls. Metatron does, done. What do you want me to do next? It's just, he does whatever he is told. That level has no personality. The teacher on Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like an extrovert compared to that Metatron. He just has it's just very monotone. The wealth of information is amazing, but it tends to put me to sleep because it's so, my dad would probably love it because, it's very factual and this is how it is. The Ascended Master, again, I was having actually a bunch of friends over this one day, and we were giving each other readings, and one of them said, oh, yeah, Metatron came in, and they hadn't been upstairs to my bedroom. So they had no idea what my bedroom looked like. And she goes, oh, Metatron's in. He says, that pile of books you have next to your bed, that's what's preventing you from sleeping. I'm like, oh, he's been in my bedroom. So he has a great sense of humor. Right, because he's been here as a human, so he kind of gets what humans go through, so he'll use that humor to get your attention. But he and Michael oversee the spiritual soul, so that kind of goes under the category of the indigo children. That was they had a huge influx in the late 1980s. Then came the crystal children, then came the rainbow children. So they help the spiritual souls, because you're spiritual, you are more sensitive. You're eating. Think about when we were younger and how many more food allergies are recognized now. How many different kinds of schools there are. I mean, there are so many more private schools than compared to when I was growing up, because it's recognized we all don't learn the same way. So that's one of the things that Metatron has helped to do. He oversees the soul star chakra, which is about 6 inches above our head. So he helps you on your soul's mission. So if you're grappling with what's my next move, I feel like I should be a healer, or in cases, I've got this book idea, but you're not quite sure, but you really wanna, keep following that wanna, because if you don't, he's going to push you off the cliff and you're going to have to do it. Trust me, I know from experience. He will push you out of your comfort zone.
Now, when you see Metatron, do you see him with multiple eyes? Because that's how he's often described, as an entity with multiple eyes, not just two.
That's one of his levels, and that also kind of goes. The multiple eye goes into the wheel category of the Orpheum, which is one of the levels of angels. Metatron, in many ways, to me, looks like Father Christmas.
Okay.
Just very, very light, kind of a combination. If you ever watch, Christmas Carol, of a Ghost of the Christmas Past and Christmas Present, big Ghost of Christmas Present, but that light is very much there, a very different energy. And I talked about Michael, where it's big. Metatron is very big as well, but the energy is distinctly different than Michael's. It's It is more cut and dry. With me, his sarcastic wit is much more prevalent than even compared to Michael's. But because Metatron also gets into sacred geometry, so there you go into that
Now,
math thing again.
what about his brother Sandalphon? What is Sandalphon all about?
He oversees the Earth star chakra, about 6 inches below our feet. So they're very balanced in energy. So Sandalphon, his thing, I call him the angel of grounding. He helps us to be present. So think about any time that we've been in a comfortable situation. So when I had to go before the town council, hardly my idea of a walk in a park. So I'm calling on Sandalphon, and I was able to be there, be very present, and not do that metaphorical, oh my, look at the time, gotta go. Because when we're present, we experience all the nuances. We can see the opportunities that are present to us. We learn these big life lessons, that's why we're here, quicker. So we don't miss it, because if we miss it, the lessons get bigger and bigger and bigger until we have no choice but to see it. So I consciously try to go for the easier lesson. Doesn't always work, but I try to go for the easier lesson. So Sandalphon's very much about helping you be present. That's what grounding is. Grounding doesn't mean stuck, because people think grounding, I'm stuck. No, you're not. It just means you're here. You're in your body. We have terms for those. Airy fairy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
People are maybe here physically, but they look at you and go, hey, how are you?
Right.
They're not here. They're not experiencing life.
Well, yeah, the lights are on, nobody's home. And but here's another question for you. This comes up a lot, and I know we've probably even asked you the last time you were here. Some people pray, and an angel does answer their prayers immediately. And some people pray, and they don't get an answer. Why?
Ooh, good question. I don't think you actually have thrown that one at me before.
Okay.
It all depends. There's many factors, because it is a case by case basis. I'll use me as an example. I don't want to pick on anybody, and I'm really good on picking on myself. I know where I'm going. I know what my mission is. My mission is, and I've said it in many lectures, I'm here to help empower millions of people. Big tall order, Chris, as I sit in my little home office right now. But that's why I've created these things. So, but was I ready 10 years ago? No, I didn't even get a business license. So obviously I wasn't ready then. So our prayers are answered, but sometimes they're not answered as we think we're supposed to get it. Does that make sense?
Well, sure. And how many people go and pray in a hospital chapel for their loved ones who are lying in a hospital bed, possibly dying, and they want a miracle? And
right, and that's a weird thing too, because we're praying because we don't want them to die. That's a wish for us. Right. We don't have any idea really of that person's life. We have no idea of that person's soul mission. I am not disagreeing that it's horrific when children die. It's horrific when people die young. I'm not arguing that it's not. But they may have contracted to get this horrible disease at a young age to help raise the compassion factor. Think about any time there's a catastrophe, the tsunami, the world gathered together. Hurricane Katrina, the world gathered together. We unfortunately have the attention span of a gnat, which means it doesn't last long, this compassion.
Yeah,
so until we can until we can stay in this compassion emotion energy longer, these things will continue to happen. So we can pray for others. So I have a lot of chatterers in our group, and they will, please pray for so-and-so. And I don't want to say names or anything, because I don't want anything to manifest. But I will say, well, Raphael's there for healing. But I'm not going to promise you that they're going to get better. The healing could be as much for you as it is for them.
Yeah,
my aunt's been battling cancer like a warrior woman for years. She's getting tired. She's getting ready to go, and it's going to be a sad day, but that's her journey.
right.
Selfishly, do I want her to hang around? Absolutely.
Sure, but you want her to hang around healthy, and if that's not an option,
Right.
then it's better to let go. So yeah, but it does seem like there's some people that that get these miracles and they see the angel in the hospital and their child recovers, and then other people pray like crazy, but they don't get that same.
And there's no perfect, golden ticket way to say something so your prayers are answered. If that was the case, I'd be passing it out like candy for free because I want everybody to be happy. I'm a people pleaser by heart, but so you don't know. You don't understand why bad things happen to good people. Sometimes we want to experience that, which makes no sense at all when we're here as human. But when we're on the other side, this is what I want to do so I can understand, so I can grow in my spiritual soul.
Right. And also I think a lot of people just want to snap their fingers and have a miracle happen when they haven't had a relationship with the angelic realm before that. And as we've learned, PK and I, from talking to so many people around the world on our show, everything requires your attention on that relationship if you want to further it, if you want things to manifest from that relationship. It's really not that different than having a friendship here on earth with a human being. Having a relationship, a friendship with the angelic realm and the beings within it means that you actually pay attention, that you focus your energy on.
And that's a beautiful way to put it, paying attention. They are giving us signs all day long. All day long. We don't notice probably 90% of them because we're too busy caught up doing stuff. We have gotten so great at doing, we pride ourselves on how much we've accomplished every day. So I've been challenging people periodically. How did you be today? How did you just be? How did you just experience life? Even if it's only for a couple of minutes. Because when we get to that being place, oh my God, it's magical.
It is. Now, here's a question for you in our chat room from Trisha. And she's asking, hi, Christine, do we have much of a choice about the cards we are dealt? I've always wondered whether we take wrong paths or if it's just bad choices about how we go down any path.
It is a mixture of both, Trisha. Looking at my life, would I be here where I am now if I had married somebody else? I'm going to go, actually, probably not. I know the guys I came close to marrying or thinking I was going to marry him. And if I project out to now, it so would not be doing what I'm doing now. It would be a shame for me. It would be a really big shame for me. So, yeah, we do have choices. Are some bad ones? We can look at them as bad. We can also look at them as a learning adventure, think I'll never do that again. Okay, then we learn something. But we keep doing the same thing over and over. That's what Einstein called insanity, expecting a different result. So when we can move past and get off that gerbil wheel and try something different, that's one of the things that the three of us, the two Patricias and me, we like to kind of shake things up periodically and give you something else to think about so we can move on. So is our life projected out for us? We come here, this is my belief, and this is, the gang has kind of confirmed, we do want to experience certain things. We do want to learn. It's like my big thing, believe it or not, is learning how to talk. Wouldn't know that now, would you? Yeah. So, speaking in public and certainly speaking like I do now about the angelic realm and giving cold advice to total strangers, I would have been like 15 years ago. I would have been petrified. But little at a time, I would get the confirmation, oh my God, that was so spot on. Thank you so much. That helped so much. And I would get like this look like, but then they would write to me later on, thank you, I got it now.
Mm-hmm.
So these little things that give you confidence, that get you out of your box, keep you going.
Now,
You know,
what
I
if you're
have an
not-
aunt.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, PK. Then I got
I was
a
just
guardian
sad.
angel question.
Okay, but she's 95 years old. She has Parkinson's, and she is no longer cognizant of anybody around her, but she's being very well taken care of. She can't speak. She's being fed through a tube. How can we make her life better so that, does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a tough one. Her life, as we would think it, is horrible. It is. It's not a life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting. She was pretty fiery in her younger days, and
Yes, she was.
and quite active. So this is actually this is one of the things she had to learn, which was to accept help.
Mm.
Now she has no choice. She hated it at first. Hated
Mm-hmm.
that independence was going. But when she's conquered it is when she will skip over. And she's getting close.
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, we have a hard time paying attention to how many people that we have available and around us on a day-to-day basis that are going through so many different things that you never know exactly what's the better way to help them help themselves.
Right. You can put some rose quartz in her room. That self-love stone, just some really pretty ones. She would appreciate the sparkle and the energy of it, because her energy's gotten much more sensitive since she's not running around doing. Yeah, since she's not running around doing stuff, you know, all she has right now is sensory, is feeling the energy. She still does she like music?
Yes, she does. In fact, she used to play the piano.
Okay.
My uncle brings her to the living room every night so that she can listen to music.
Oh, good.
Before
good.
she goes to bed. Mm-hmm.
Good. Actually, I would play it more often if you have a radio or some sort of put an iPod or something in there, just so she can hear the music more often, not just at night.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah, she may not be able to give you that physical recognition that it's there, but she's getting it.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because it used to be that there would be a real sparkle in her eyes.
Yeah,
that's gone. There's no acknowledgement except a little semi grin once in a blue moon. That's about all there is left.
Yeah. She's getting ready to leave, so it's close. So yeah, play a lot of music. Something peppy.
Okay.
Something peppy that she would not expect is really going to get her jazzed up.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Very nice.
You're welcome.
Christine, we're coming to the end of the show, and I want to make sure people know what you have available for sale. You have a children's book.
I do.
You have angel cards, right?
I do.
Tell us what else you have so that people can go to your website and navigate through and get what they need, and also join you on Angel Chatter on Facebook. And again, your website is also angelchatter.com, right?
It is. Yeah. Right. So all of my products are my creations, for better or for worse. They all exist.
And they're good. They're very good.
They all exist to help us, every person using them, feel better about themselves, so they become more empowered, which is why my Oracle cards, that was my very, very first product. They piggybacked into sacred candles, misters, and roll-ons. I've designed jewelry. I have 2 books out there, the children's book, which we got the Mom's Choice Award, and then my latest book, Ask Formation, and then my 3rd book's getting published this coming fall.
Congratulations. We'll have to have you back.
Good.
Now, we're going to have to wrap, unfortunately. It's been so much fun, Christine, having you here. And please keep us posted on all your exciting adventures. And when your new book comes out, we're going to definitely have to have you back. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me both. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And next week, everybody, we've got Don Oscar, the magnificent Don Oscar. The shaman who taught us so much the last time he was here. He will be back. Can't wait to see him again. And everybody, Until next week, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.